Morning traders, Paul here with GammaEdge. Today is Wednesday, the 12th of July. Let's get started. Pause your players here, read to the very bottom. If you agree, hit that play button. Summary for today, continuation day up in the overall market models. So we now are in day 3 on both the shortest term measurement we have, which is the CT, the cumulative tick, and then we have a railroad track pattern, which is really appropriate for the 1 to 3 day swings. When you see this on the next slide, you'll understand why this is such a powerful indicator. Long-term market model, which is appropriate for the 2 weeks or so, remains in an uptrend. We had another continuation day up. Again, this will be very visible on the next slide. Short-term determination, we're bullish. Of course, this is driving via our rearview mirror. What that means is that we're always aware of potential reversals downward or continuation up. This is not a predictive model, but it does show momentum. There's no question about that. So as long as we remain above key levels, and you'll see what those are here today, dips can be bought. And of course, we want everyone to always observe proper risk management. There is no substitution for it. If you don't know what to do, paper trade. Absolutely always paper trade. So in terms of the transitions, we closed at 44.39 yesterday. This is well above the transitions. The PM complex, which we separated out because it behaves differently than the AM complex or the combo complex, plus trans is now at 44.20 and minus trans is up at 44.15. So very tight. We moved up a little bit. We saw puts being opened right close to where we are. This is short-term bearish, but it is normal market speculation. If you don't understand that, come into the Discord and ask questions. The combo complex, which is the AM and the PMs combined together, transition again is 44.15, minus trans is 43.95. Trans is up, minus trans is unchanged. So this is maybe a little bearish because of the puts being open, but overall, normal market speculation. We're not worried about it. We are above it. We would not be surprised of a mean reversion back to support levels, so just keep that in mind. When we take a look at the Greeks and we look at the dominant strikes, the Delta, Gamma, Charm, and Vanna strikes, we are shifting to a more bullish stance. We now have 2 Greeks, the Deltas and the Gammas, which are now call-dominated overhead and show some pretty strong support below us. I said overhead, but below us. And then above us, everything is lined up on 44.50. If we can get above 44.50, it's probably smooth sailing up towards 44.75, which looks to be the next stopping point. For the 0 DTE folks, plus trans 44.15. Here's that number again. Minus trans is 44.10. Again, very tight, very unambiguous. It's moved up, and as I said before, is short-term bearish. So this is positioning for a downside move. That's fine. We're well within range of being a little extended above transition and pulling back. This would be normal market behavior and nothing for us to get worried about. We would be looking to add to our long positions provided that we remained above the transitions. Plus GEX is 44.75. Minus GEX is 44.10. Everything's moved up. When we see the gamma structure move up, this is beautiful. This is an expanding market, short term because it is gamma, and of course 0 DTE. So speculation above and below continues. We think of this as being very healthy. We have a significant call-dominated expiry today, especially for a Wednesday. I think there's over 23,000 net GEX that's coming off, which is a normally or abnormally high number. We are mindful of the potential then for downward pressure as these calls are monetized and closed. So watch COTMC. It's a value we have created in the Discord and want you to pay attention to that. And as we approach that, especially from the pre-market calculations, you know that there's the potential to monetize. If we can get above that 44.50, like I was saying, look to hold and push north towards 44.75. If we break through the 44.10, which is that lower level there, minus trans, and it also aligns with some of the lower levels above, we anticipate testing the Livermore level of 4,400, and we look to hold that, plus or minus a strike or two. If we lose 4,400 with any veracity, we are looking for a drop towards 43.65, which just incidentally is the JPM end of July strike. It's not liquid. We do not think we're going to go down there today, but there is a potential that we could push south if we lose that 4,400 with any volume. Discord members, again, watch the value command. This gives you a multi-day distribution versus strikes, and then watch the Val-D, which is your intraday distribution on 15-minute slices. The market model, as I was saying, we're in a continuation day, almost it's a really strong linear up day, both on the CT, which is the bolded white line, as well as the railroad track pattern. You can see now why we call it the railroad track pattern. When it materializes, it's incredibly powerful. So if you got on the bus 2 days ago, you're doing pretty well. And this is why we have it. This is a short-term market model looking at the bolded white line as well as the railroad track pattern. Longer-term model, which is the colorful ribbon that you see, all slopes are positive. We're above it. Again, on a longer-term view, the market model is pointing us upward, and we would urge everyone to pay attention to this because it does make a material difference in your trades. Taking a look at the PM complex. A couple things worth noting. We're expecting a little more volatility today. We're predicting more. This is open, high, low, close. This is not close to close. Let me repeat that. This is open, high, low, close, not close to close. If you don't know what that means, come into the Discord and ask. We are seeing more calls go in, short-dated calls, so that we're seeing that gamma increase with the net GEX going up. That's important because that is an expanding complex, and we like to see that. That is the out-of-the-money put speculators are adding to the positions. And you can see that here in the net delta column. We've got green all the way as far as the eye can see. The green check mark that you see there, yesterday this was red, now it's green. That means that the out-of-the-money out-of-the-money call speculators have pounded the in-the-money puts into submission. Therefore, we have a green runway to the north. Really nothing in the PM structure is preventing us from moving up except normal day-to-day action and all the fear and greed that goes into that. Transition very well defined. And we are mindful that plus GEX dropped from 4,500 to 4,475. This is a big deal in the context of we don't like to see GEX drop. We like to see it expand. So in the PM complex, this might be a little foretelling that speculators are worried about getting to 4,500 in the time frame that they allowed their contracts to move, which actually is this Friday and Monday. So just be aware of that we could, with this pullback in plus GEX and this piling on to 44.75, that's probably a little more realization for the option players. Now, you can see that the 44.75 and the 4,500s are very close in magnitude, so it can go either way. Don't read too much into this except to say clearly 44.75 has a higher probability of being attained than 4,500. Taking a look at the 0 DTE, again, transition very well defined. We're just above it, so it's a beautiful setup here. You can see the 44.25s are important here, etc. We take a look at the 1 DTEs. We're looking at basically kind of that same thing. 44.50 is indicated tomorrow as being a really, really important number. We want everyone to pay attention. It is the indicated COI, call open interest dominant strike, as well as the plus GEX strike. And so getting above 44.50 will be very, very important. You can see the mass that exists from 44.60 up through 44.75, and you can see that the deltas are green. So depending on where we are today, do we close above transition? Do we close above 44.50? That will set the stage for our ability tomorrow to push north. Now, I do want to call out a couple things. Down here at 43.95, you can see that we do have some gamma that's right below a Livermore level of 4,400, so this could be a sweep positioning. If we do drop through, folks could be using this as their opportunity to close out those puts, which would be supportive. Now, down below that, 43.75 is the dominant 1 DTE strike to the downside. It's going to be very, very important, I think, for us to pay attention to that. And we're going to want to see that if we do lose the 44.10, which is the lower range of tomorrow's projected 1 DTE, we could potentially test that Livermore 4,400 level, the 43.95. And if we lose that 43.95, we think that the 43.75s could get tested and really test the resolve of the bulls. Taking a look at the crystal ball for this balance of the week, you can see over on the right-hand side, those black tiles indicate it's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Very strong. We're seeing an increase in net gamma. That means the out-of-the-money call speculation is alive and well. To the north, the green box indicates that the deltas are set up. We have nothing really impeding northward progress here. And the two left arrows that you see here, we are moving up in plus GEX from 4450 to 4475 on the weekly, as well as from 4380 to 4400 on the weekly. This is an expanding complex. This is good, but sequencing matters. How we get there, what expires, what fear and greed, the monetization component, all of that will matter here, but overall the structure is positive, at least down to approximately 4385 or so. Taking a look at the combo complex, which is the AM and the PMs, again, we're growing. Out of the money call speculation is going in. It's growing the overall complex. We've got green deltas to the north as far as the eye can see. We did repair the 4485s, which were negative yesterday, so you can see that the call speculators are stepping up. They're pounding the table, and away we go. To the downside, the transition, very well defined, 4395, 4415. So the fact that the Livermore level is encased in this is interesting because that is actually a low pressure area. We have some zeros that are located in that area, but note the 61 billion in net gamma there, or net delta, excuse me, is going to be pretty powerful as we drop towards that. So we're not expecting to drop significantly below 4,400. If we do go down, we may sweep down below in intraday 43.95s, but we're, your line in the sand is very well clear defined for the mothership, the AIMs and the PMs, almost 18 million contracts of the SPX sitting out there, so notional value is pretty high. Just be aware of this, and you can clearly see to the north that the 4,500 line is the dominant line with quarter levels appearing at 4450, 75, and 4,500. Last slide here shows exactly what you think. It's almost the same as yesterday. We've effectively increased the plus GEX right goalpost up to 61,000 net contracts, so that's important. 4,200 remains minus GEX to the downside, and everything else has not changed in structure. We've got a little bit of weakness in the transition, a little bit of widening as you saw right here, but you can see for the most part everything's the same as it was yesterday. So we're going to keep pulling back to transition. As long as transition remains constant, we should be in good shape, and we'll just continue to see how things develop here. So that's it for today. If you have questions or comments or want to come in, kick the tires, go to GammaEdge.us. Upper right-hand corner is a pricing tab. Click on that, fill out the blanks, come on in. 14-day free trial on GammaEdges. Follow us, please, on Twitter, and then here on YouTube. Two things. If you like today's content, please give me the up thumbs so that I know that I'm providing content you find relevant. And then, of course, subscribe. When you subscribe, you get notified when we post new content, and we try to do something every day. So with that, I will bid you farewell. Hope to see everybody in the Discord, and make it a great hump day.